broad range of services to women from diverse communities, inspiring them to become more economically active and personally fulfilled. Our area of support includes personal development, education, and business support. From international advocacy to local projects, our core values guide everything we do. While we work flexibly, we have established a framework to align with our values. We are here for all women. Whatever their story, we can appreciate the most complex of challenges. We celebrate diversity in every context and are committed to helping women achieve their potential no matter what their background or goals are. We continue to evaluate and improve our practice to respond to women's needs. Whether we are tackling complex issues or more common universal ones, we employ innovation and imagination. If there is no obvious existing solutions, we work and think creatively to find new ones, because that is what we can do in St. Joseph. We are the most eclectic set of people we have across the board. There is nothing that we cannot accomplish. When we put our minds to it, feet to the ground, hands in the air, we march, we get them out. Because right now we have an MP that is non-existent. We don't need that anymore. We need soldiers, not just to win battles, but to win the war that we have coming at us, because it's going to be a fight. So mobilize, bring out your people, get them out there, put pen to paper, put pressure on your MPs, put pressure on your councillors, and who needs to be there, put them in office and get this PNM government out of office immediately. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Gillian. Let us hear it for Gillian again, please. Now, Gillian made a very important point. She said that the people in our party are warriors. And I would like to mention especially some warriors, some unsung heroes, right? We will clap for all of them after. We have people like the PRO, Dr. Kirk Mayhew, a very important warrior. We have the Douglas politics team. William Archie, that guy, that handsome guy behind the camera there. You all see them? William Archie. We have Mr. Vishnu Kun, another warrior. The whole Douglas politics team. We have Karina Baichan. We have Lisha Dore. Warriors. We're pulling together, as Arnold keeps saying, we're pulling together and we're going to take back our country because it's the right thing to do. I would like to introduce our next speaker, a very dynamic young fella, very articulate, very creative in his own way. Please welcome none other than Mr. Shivanan Ramkalawan.
Oh yeah! St. Joseph, the crowd large tonight. Pleasant good night to all. Our honorable political leader, Kamla Prasad Bisesa, the National Executive of the United National Congress, and the head table here tonight. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to St. Joseph. Make some noise here tonight. My name is Shivanan Ramkalawan, and I am a youth ambassador of St. Joseph. My task here is simple tonight. I want to spend some time delving into a topic that has been irking my consciousness for quite some time. Allow me to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, how do you survive? How do you acquire your basic needs? With money, right? Am I right? Being a graduate of the University of the West Indies, I would like to share my experience. I am sure the youths of St. Joseph, and by extension, the youths of Trinidad and Tobago, share similar sentiments. Ever since we were small, we have a desire to become our own person, a desire to be independent. But brothers and sisters, are we really getting that opportunity here? under this PNM government. Remember Chowking? You all remember Chowking, right? The chow man right down in the Quasi there, who was selling chow, who get locked up. Yes, that youth man attempted to build his dreams. But this mischievous PNM government decides to make the youths insomniacs and kill our dreams to be independent. Why? Because they believe that their boys' club should be the only one to eat our food. Youth man, it's time to open your eyes. Allow me to introduce a concept into your minds tonight. So youth man, open your ears too. Usually, it is believed that education brings families and youths out of poverty. And this has been evident under the leadership of our political leader, Kamla Prasad Bisesa. I remember in 2010, I received a laptop. And as soon as Rowley reached, the laptop gone through. You hear blight? That is blight. First that man saw her, he could season a whale. However, our political leader has paved the roads for youth to have an affordable education. And she had a plan after that. She created jobs to support not only ourselves, but our families. But oh gosh, boy, the PNM driving in reverse. It's becoming to a point where education now brings forth poverty. When you cut gates, reduce scholarships, and cut your resources, how you expect us to have an education of quality and affordability? How? So what we do? We pay for we brains to find a work to pay back for we schooling. But where the work? I ask you, St. Joseph tonight, where the work? They mash up the gate and the Bella wall. Education is now becoming a financial risk for our youths today. Look how much youths are desperate for a job. Watch the Royal Caribbean Cruise recruitment. Over 2,000 applicants. Could you believe that? 2,000? The PNM is sinking the youth opportunities like the Titanic, placing us into psychological suicide and drowning the hopes of the youths. And there are some things that I can't seem to understand and wrap my hand around. It baffles me a lot. You mean to tell me approximately 500 TSDT workers on the breadline? This means 500 families now have to drop their quality of life. But yet, Kamal George is getting a work paying big money. That fair? Tell me, St. Joseph, is that fair? So youth man, it's time to stand up. It's time to exercise your freedom of speech. Youth man, it's time to stand against oppression. Because you tell me, do you prefer to cry under the PNM or fight for a better tomorrow? That's right. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Shivanan Ramkalawan and I am a youth ambassador of St. Joseph. I do hope that the Honorable Prime Minister is listening tonight, because this youth will not be muzzled. You can't threaten me to lose my job because you ain't give me one. I am here to make a stand, and I stand for all the unemployed youths of St. Joseph who are being deprived of opportunities daily because our resumes are getting cold and growing mold. As I depart, youth man, I want you to start to think, because the road to success under the PNM is nothing more than a dead-end road, and I have had enough. So what are you waiting for? Trinidad and Tobago, now is the time. Thank you.
Somebody say fire! Our next speaker is a legal officer to the United National Congress. He has been
an attorney at law for 11 years. He's a former legal officer in the Ministry of Transport. He was also a former corporate assistant to the Sugarcane Welfare Committee. He served as a temporary senator in 2008 and from 2015 to 2019 on many occasions. Let us welcome Brian Baig.
Yeah. Well, look at people here tonight. My UNC family, a pleasant good night. A pleasant good night to all my colleagues. A pleasant good night to my NATEX colleagues and all members of parliament and councillors. And you, the people of St. Joseph. My brothers and sisters, I want to welcome you to the constituency of St. Joseph. Well, I am here just to do a few things. Well, I am here to tell you about what really happening in St. Joseph too. You heard some, you're going to hear some more. Well, in St. Joseph, we have bad roads like that. Hole like that in the road. To the point where we have decided where every street have a pothole, we naming it the Alsing Lane. We naming it Convent Girl Lane. We name it everything because the Alsing must take ownership of poor representation in St. Joseph. Another issue is affecting our constituency is crime. Yes, crime. Believe it or not, in this constituency, in Arango itself, crime has risen. But what has been doing? What is this MP doing? Nothing. Nothing at all. Our Minister of National Security, we can't see him. And if you see him on TV, he's sleeping. He's bepping on himself. Like he have a case of dropsy. We don't know if he come in or he go in. My brothers and sisters, one other major area that is affecting this constituency, cancer patients are on the rise, my brothers and sisters. And in this constituency, right there in Mount Hope, we were building the Oncology Center, which was being continued under Kamla Prasad Bisasa. Then came the Alsing. The Alsing and Rowley stopped it. The Alsing, you have left St. Joseph cancer patients to die because there's no way to get any medication or any form of redress. But no fear, no fear. Very soon, we are saying, call an election because we want an election now. All you want an election? Because we want Kamla Prasad Bisasa to come back as Prime Minister in this country. We want good representation. We have a very good team led by a hard-working coordinator called Anil Roberts. And very soon, when the election is called, the UNC will take back St. Joseph. Now, my brothers and sisters, as a practicing attorney at law, I want to say that I want to congratulate and join me in congratulating our UNC senators for standing up for the constitutional rights of our people. Imagine, they bring this bail bill. They wanted you to stop you from having the right to apply for bail. Now, I won't go much into it because I have colleagues here who I sure will go more into it. But what I want to tell them is that they must visit the courts. They must go and visit our little police cell. Because let me tell you something. When someone is arrested, the first thing they take away from you is your watch. So when your watch is taken away from you, you know what's happened there? A second can be deemed as a lifetime inside of there. And cells are dark, they are gloomy, they're sometimes nasty, they're even full. So they want to leave you inside of there for 120 days with no bail? No. We're not saying that cannot happen. That must not happen. So my brothers and sisters, we must thank our people for standing up, led by Kamla Prasad Bisasa. That can happen. I also listened to Ms. Renuka Sagram Singh. My dear girl, we know we young people, let's say, yes, I think I'm still young. You for real? Are you for real? You came out in the parliament and supported that? Girl, the chambers that you came out from, a learned senior counsel who fights for people's rights, I don't think she'll let you come back when you lost government. You got to go and find our next office. My brothers and sisters, I want to tell you that if this government want to get serious, well, hear what? Open back the courts. Forget this virtual thing. Because that virtual court is virtual hell. Because sometimes people don't have internet. People can't log on. They can't even log in.
You have a judge who stood out and said, virtual courts is virtual hell. So open back the courts and fix the system. My friends, I will close by telling you this, that very soon, the rising sun will rise. And when it rises in St. Joseph, we will take back St. Joseph. We will beat them in St. Joseph. We will beat them in Aranguez. We will beat them in Bamboo. We will beat them everywhere because the UNC is coming and the people is calling back for the return of Kamla Prasad Bisasa. I thank you. Enjoy the rest of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, long live the United National Congress. Long live Kamla Prasad Bisasa. I thank you.
Please, let's head one more time for Mr. Brian Begg. My friends, we have people from all over. We have the whole of the Kuva Tabaki Talparo Corporation. Let's give them a round of applause, please. We have, as he described himself, the locally assembled white guy, Mr. Brian Stone. He's a warrior from the north, and he will help us take back those 3 Diego Martin seats from the 3 nincompoops, Rowley, Embert, and Breaknose, they could call him? No breaker. Right. Okay, our next speaker, they say when it's nice, you do it twice. And here in the UNC, we have the nicest people, actually. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce the next nice speaker. She has been a counselor since 2010. She is currently the counselor for the QF Page area. She is also a member of the UNC Women's Arm. Please welcome none other than Councillor Jalen Jenna Rupnarayan.
Thank you very much, Safraz. Honorable Political Leader, Mrs. Kamla Prasad Visesa, Members of Parliament, Senators, Councillors, Aldermen, Constituency Executive, our activists, and you, the constituents of St. Joseph, good evening. Welcome to the East-West Corridor of St. Joseph. Let me take this time to introduce myself as Vice Chairman of St. Joseph Constituency Executive. I am Councillor Jalen Rupnarayan. I have a question here tonight. To every woman and girls, how are you feeling tonight? Do you feel safe? No. Do you trust this PNM government? No. Do you trust our famous Sleeping Beauty, Minister of National Security? No. Do you trust our Prime Minister? Let me publicly say this. Hell no! Democracy is dead under this uninterested, self-centered, egoistic, despicable PNM government. Employment is dead. Health system, dead. Security and safety, dead. We the people have lost all interest and trust under this incompetent PNM government. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to share the sentiments of our women and girls in this society with regards to safety. Are we women or are we an object? Should we continue to live in fear? Should we have limited times to go to the groceries, to go to supermarkets, to go to workplace? How many more women will go missing? How many more will face abuse? I stand in solidarity with all women and girls in Trinidad and Tobago, calling on our Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley. Tell us, when will this stop? What are your plans? If I can recall, wasn't it the Minister of National Security who said his duty is not to protect the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? Answer me, was it him? No, he is a waste of time. if I can recall, wasn't this minister the very man who continued to disrespect every citizen when it comes to safety? Well, Mr. Sleeping Beauty, I have a solution for you. Resign your position and take early retirement and go home and sleep. Go home and rest. Up until yesterday, I heard of a young lady who was disrespected in a maxi taxi. Is this the way of life? This young lady would live in fear and trauma, and so would many other women in our country. Just like our dearly beloved Andrea Barrett and Ashanti Riley, may their souls rest in peace. Still to date, what has been put in place to be the safety of our country? Our women and girls continue to live in the darkest holes where they cannot be seen and heard because of fear and have no trust in this PNM government. As a counselor, every single day I continue to receive numerous calls from single moms, unemployed, and those who have been in some form of abuse. Many of them who are exposed to violence are less likely to complete their education. This has reduced women's ability to earn a good living. How can we fix this problem? Let me remind you, under the Honorable Kamala Persad-Bissessar, when she was Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, we had baby grants, we had employment, it was at its lowest. And we had one of the best Minister of National Security, Gary Griffith, where pepper spray pushed for legislative approval, 100 women getting firearms approved, gender-based violence unit establishment, and online reporting apps to help those women who suffered against violence. My UNC family, my brothers and sisters, enough is enough, and we must tell the PNM, come down from there. The Prime Minister once said, choose your man wisely. Well, seeing that your bio says that you are qualified to interview men, do us a favor, Mr. Prime Minister, and step down and call elections now. It is time we put back one party, one leader, the Honorable Kamala Persad-Bissessar as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. My questions to you, brothers and sisters, do you really want to continue suffering under this PNM government? So tonight, join with me. Say, I am UNC and I am proud. Let me hear you. I am UNC and I am proud. We will return to government. But first, we will be victorious in the local government election. And your time will expire, Mr. Rowley. And as the youths are saying today, come down from there. Thank you.
Look how high the crime rate is in the country now. Fathers, come down, come down. Come down, come down. UNC, in tongue, in tongue, in tongue, in tongue, in tongue. I don't want to leave you on top of the house and leave you to come down everywhere now. You're claiming ENF, them is boss, but look how high the crime rate is now.
Thank you so much, Councillor Jalen. She's very dynamic, very hardworking, and I know she will bring back Curie Page under the UNC. Let us give her back one more round of applause, please. My friends, our next speaker is the current councillor for El Socorro Aranguez North. Hold 1 second here. She is also a member of the Cantaro Village Council. She is also on the National Women's Arm, the Assistant Secretary. Very hard-working young lady. Please welcome Councillor Raquel Ghani.
Honorable Political Leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar, members of NATEX, MPs, senators, my councillor colleagues, all the men, specially invited guests, the listening and viewing audience, good evening to you, my UNC family. am Raquel Ghani, Councillor for the Electoral District of El Socorro Rangwes North, and most importantly, a proud member of the United National Congress. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the Honorable Kamala Persad-Bissessar on being elected and returning as once more our political leader of this great party, the United National Congress. And her star team, of course, one of which is our very own coordinator, for St. Joseph, Senator Anil Roberts, who holds the esteemed position of Northeast Coordinator. Congratulations to the star team once more. Now, I'll tell you a little bit of El Socorro Rangwes North. This district was created a couple months before the 2019 local government elections. I want to thank the honorable political leader for placing her confidence in me to be the councillor of this district, which was fairly new to me, and I was met with COVID 3 months after my being elected. Now, this district falls between the constituencies of St. Joseph and Barataria San Juan. I haven't had a correspondence from the MP for St. Joseph. For the past 2 years and 6 months, I have been elected as councillor. But I assure you, Barataria San Juan MP, Saddam Hussein, he is not a terrorist, has been fully supporting me and working with me assiduously to get things done in Barataria San Juan. Like all other districts, this district has its challenges, but it has seen improvement in infrastructural changes. In the 2 years and 6 months, although faced with a pandemic, I was able to accomplish the following projects. Phase 1 and 2 of box drains in Savannah Road, Mount Lambert. Completion of Freddie Street and John Dulham Street, Arangwes box drains. Railings on Sarah Plain to protect the students who traverse that track every day to go to school when the term is in. Paving of Fazarali Street. Curb walls restoration, manhole covers, mobile patching, recreation facilities upkeep, and public street lighting. There is so much more. We can accomplish so much through the cooperation. Then there comes the challenges where the Ministry of Works and Transport is in charge of. That Arangwes Main Road and El Socorro Main Road, where we have been championing the cause together with MP Saddam Hussein for Barataria San Juan, who held a meeting with the Superintendent of Drainage Division. And up to this date, we have no luck in getting those drains dredged. When the rain falls, this causes persons in lower El Socorro and Arangwes to be flooded, because the volume of water that comes down there is just too much, and nothing has been done to clear that those drains at the end of El Socorro and Arangwes main roads. So tonight, I call on Mr. Rohan Sinanan, Minister of Works and Transport. Please rectify this situation. Let us bring comfort to the persons living in Lower Arangwes and El Socorro. I say enough is enough. We have had enough. Rowley and the PNM-led government must go. They must go now. So my UNC family, we must continue to hold this Rowley-led PNM government accountable for the disrepair our country has fallen into. Prices of food has skyrocketed. Unemployment, no salary increase. I say enough is enough. Time for Rowley and the PNM to go. We have a leader whom have always shown great love and care for the citizens of this country, especially and specifically the children of our country. We must commend her for the effort she made between 2010 and 2015 to ensure the lives of children had a good education. Let us continue to stand united under one leader, one party, UNC and proud. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Raquel. Our next speaker, she is no stranger to St. Joseph. She's very hardworking. She has been an activist for over 25 years and has served in many party groups. She has also served on the St. Augustine Executive as the Women's Affairs Officer for many years. Let us welcome our very own Councillor Seema Ramcharan Augustine for the electoral district of Valsayn St. Joseph.
Honorable political leader, members of parliament, senators, members of the NATEX, constituency executives, my colleagues, councillors, aldermen, pleasant good night. And a most special good night to you, my UNC family, all our hard-working activists who find time to come out whenever we have a meeting, whenever we have a walk, whenever we need assistance. Thank you. Tonight, I first want to bring greetings to you from the district of Valsayn St. Joseph. I want to shed some light on issues that we as councillors face on a daily basis. But before I proceed, I want to pay a special tribute to our leader, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa, who was victorious in our internal elections. We have a leader who is strong. We have a leader who is loving and caring. We have a leader who is full of compassion. Leader, we admire you and we love you very much. Now people, this is very serious. And I know, as much as I want the leader to know, you all want her to know too. Leader, we have your back and we will always support you. Our leader faces discrimination, ridicule every single day of her life. And leader, tonight, I want you to know, we have so much love for you that your cup runneth over with love from us. And we will always support you and have your back. I will not be long tonight. I will get straight to the point. As a councillor for the district of Valsayn St. Joseph, I have been working vigorously, trying to alleviate issues within the district. Some of these are very main issues. Repairing of roads, more importantly, repair of drains in this district in an effort to alleviate flooding. Councillors face a lot of challenges, mainly the lack of resources to fulfill our roles. If councillors get the resources we need, we can do very much improvement in different communities within our district. And we want to improve our communities. We just don't have the resources to do it. Ministry of Works, well, that's a different story. Waits until the rain and storms upon us and helter-skelter because all the water courses are not clean. No fault of the workers within this ministry, I must add. The problem, is always a waiting release of funding. Minister of Works, failing once again, come down from there. You could just imagine the situation we could have been in if that tropical cyclone had hit us. I thank God for His mercy. Because this government definitely not prepared or could deal with a real disaster. Ministry of Social Development, another failure. Now, my people, I could go on and on and on tonight, and we will meet morning talking about the failures of this government and all the relevant ministries and minister heading them. This ministry, the Ministry of Social Development, which we used to call the Ministry of the People, 2010 to 2015. So they changed back the name, took out people, and forget about the people. Imagine a system that a person has been collecting a disability grant for years,
And this person now reaches the age to collect a pension grant, has to wait no less than 6 months, sometimes years, to collect their first pension check. This person is a citizen of this country who has no other means of support or income. This person has been on the same system, collecting a disability grant for years. How will this person survive? How will this person buy food or pay rent in some cases? Madam Minister, you need to care about the people to be a minister in this ministry. You need to have compassion, or you need to come down from there and just resign. Salary relief, another failure. How many people here knows anyone who actually got a salary relief grant or rental assistance during COVID shutdown? Very few people, but I know a lot of people who got put out by their landlords. Tonight, I want to call upon the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Enough is enough. Mr. Prime Minister, you definitely cannot do the job. Call elections now. Come down from there. I stand here tonight on behalf of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago and beg of you, please, you cannot do the job. Rowley must go. Come down from there. Call elections now. Long live Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Long live the UNC. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next speaker is no stranger to St. Joseph. He is dynamic. He is handsome. He is one in a million. He has never turned his face on the UNC. His doors are always open. He is also the chairman of the St. Joseph Constituency Executive. And now he is the councillor for Aranguez Warner Village. Let us welcome our Amita Bachchan for St. Joseph, Councillor Ahmed Suknaran.
Thank you, St. Joseph. Make some noise for yourself now, man. St. Joseph, all you're good looking too bad, you know. I only seen good looking people, and I'm proud to be on this yellow side of the good looking country. All you make some noise. The UNC only have good looking people, make some noise. As chairman of this constituency, let me humbly welcome you to the first capital of Trinidad and Tobago, the constituency, the lovable constituency, the most welcoming constituency, St. Joseph. Thank you very much for making your ways into our hallways this evening. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate the KPB All-Star team. All you make some noise for our new political leader again. I said it, I will stand with Kamala Prasad Bisesa for as long as my political career can carry me. And I will move with her guidance, and that is what have me strong on my two legs today. That is what have you strong in this country here today, surviving this disgusting PNM. If we didn't have a motherly political leader like Kamala Prasad Bisesa, I don't want to say they would. Let me take this opportunity to also recognize members of parliament of our loving party. Will you make some noise for our members of parliament? Make some noise for our senators. Make some noise, St. Joseph. Make some noise for the new Natex. And let me singly acknowledge our coordinator for St. Joseph, but not just St. Joseph, the man hand long. He is now the new regional coordinator, the Northeast Regional Coordinator of Trinidad and Tobago. Senator Anil Roberts. Y'all make some noise for my coordinator. Ladies and gentlemen,
let me take this opportunity also to recognize some hard-working people that put together this event this evening. The beautiful decor that we have on our backdrop was done by the loving Lisa Paria. You all make some noise for Lisa. And her entire team. A man whose name you mightn't hear on this platform here tonight, but Vishnu Kun. Make some noise for Vishnu. And when I call your name, wave your flag. Let me let you know that in St. Joseph, while the volunteers are sitting here, these are our stalwarts of St. Joseph. This is our strength. And I want them on our side this evening. Because once I have the supporters and the loyalty of these people on our side, we cannot fall. Julian, raise your flag. Let them see you. Mr. Maring, Mr. Budram, Trevor, Natasha, Miss Marcia, Kira, Nishad, my brother here, Aaron, and my good sister here from Moundo. We have everybody inside the house here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let me get on to business. Trinidad is not in a good place. We are in a bad place. Let's face the reality. We have good people, but we're in a bad place right now. Proper mismanagement by the People's National Movement. People in this country are hungry. With a severe increase in standard of living, the people hasn't had a raise in salary in those with no income. How do they survive? In this country is the only country on the face of this earth that everything raised excepting people's salary. Make it make sense. Does that make sense, Trinidad and Tobago? Does that make sense? Make it make sense. Everything in this country raised except your salary. It just shows that we are under a dictatorship and a government that is not people-centered, like the United National Congress. The rise of flour and food has a ripple effect. How is it that everything in this country could raise, as I said, but not our salary? Imagine recently a mother was arrested for shoplifting baby milk in the supermarkets. Is that a criminal? Rowley has forced these people, these decent people in this country, a mother who's trying to raise a child, I'm sorry to say, but she was hungry. Is this criminal? Where we sit tonight, well, the bandits say, oh, come here tonight, because we are true soldiers in the crowd. But where we sit tonight has become a feeding ground for bandits. And you have a sleeping Minister of National Security. He's sloppy, he's wet, and he's snoozy. He can't solve crime in this country, but you want to arrest and show off with a mother who is trying to feed her hungry baby. My brothers and sisters, I remember that Kamala Prasad-Bissessar ran a kitchen that fed 25,000 families across TNT. It was the Feed a Family program that I call the Kamala's Kitchen. Make some noise for your leader. That is the kind of leader you have. You have a leader who is passionate about serving people. You have a leader that is concerned about what you eat this evening. You have a leader who is a true humanitarian. It was a true humanitarian effort that was led by Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, that Kamala's Kitchen. And that is why I call her the mother of this nation. On the flip side of this paper, I'm sorry to break the news to you. I hate to remind you, the constituents of St. Joseph, that your member of parliament for St. Joseph is Terence Dialsing. Don't play no drum for here. A little, not yet, we're making that happen. A little bit of a man that has neglected St. Joseph in a big way. And that is so sad, ladies and gentlemen. But he won't cry for that. Will you see him cry for that? Arangwas have become a feeding ground for bandits, ladies and gentlemen. Home invasions. But you won't cry for that, Terence. You won't cry for that. You're not sad about that. You don't feel that. Women can't come out of the house after 6 anymore in this constituency. But you won't cry for that. But as soon as Rowley said jackass, you just raise your head. Well, I cry for that donkey that you match Terence the Alsing with. Terry carries a name in St. Joseph, in Mount Hope and environs of 10 Cent Terry. You know why? Because when you're going to Mount Hope, if your toenail fall off, if you break your foot, if you have COVID, if you have cancer, AIDS, headache, break neck, stiff neck, paracetamol. Paracetamol. That is what this country reached to, you know. That is what our health sector reached to, you know. And that is why I personally give him the name 10 Cent Terry. Or let me make some noise for 10 Cent Terry. We have a Piper MP in St. Joseph, 10 Cent Terry. Terence, you have neglected your responsibilities as minister and as MP. And it's time now for you to go. And make some noise when I say, because I want him here. I know he's listening, I know he don't answer his phone, but he's listening. Tell Terence the Alsing, come down from there. Terry is a 9-year-old MP and never came to Arangwas. He's still acting like a newborn though, because he's crying for everything. A 9-year-old MP. So I'm saying to you, now Terry, don't bother to come again. Don't bother to come again because Senator the Honorable Arnold Roberts have it under control. Don't bother to come again. In fact, we will come to you. Terry, you have failed people. You have failed people in this constituency, and I say that I'm UNC proud. And I stand with my Honorable Senator, the Honorable Arnold Roberts, to move this constituency in a victorious position and make some noise for our Senator. We are coming for you. These people here that I mentioned here tonight, they will be coming to remove that man from office. We will take that, we will take that member of parliament office and we will put Arnold Roberts on that throne. Make some noise. And I just come in with them. My brothers and sisters, when we come to that office in St. Joseph, we don't even want cold water from your fridge. Take all your blight and go. Terence, take your blight and go. It is time for you to move. Make some way for the Yellow Army. Make way for Arnold Roberts. Make way for the stalwarts of St. Joseph. Make way for the St. Joseph executive. Make way for your hard-working activists. Make way for United National Congress. Kamla Prasad Bisesa will reign. Once again, we will reign. Long live the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Long live you, the United National Congress, and long live Trinidad and Tobago. Kamla will restore it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Ahmed Suknanan. I have worked personally with that young fella and he has far to go. He works very tirelessly for the people. Our next speaker, I told you all that UNC has the best. And this speaker coming up here is one of the best. He is an MP. He is an MP, but he works very hard for the people. Whenever he stands in Parliament and talks, Faris starts to get very uncomfortable. My friends, this MP is a young and dynamic advocate attorney. He exhibits relentless ambition to build and develop the minds of our nation's youth and their communities. He has courageously fought for their rights, liberties, legalities, and unprejudiced development. My friends, he is our new research officer of NATEX. The list is so long that I have to cut it short. Please welcome MP Saddam Hussein.
Good evening, St. Joseph. Good evening, UNC family.
I pay special acknowledgement to our political leader, the best Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar of Real Senior Council, our local government practitioners right here in St. Joseph and elsewhere, my colleagues both in the House of Representatives and in the Senate, members of NATEX, the good people of St. Joseph, Barataria, San Juan, and the United National Congress. St. Joseph, I have heard that you had have a virus for the last 9 years. A virus for the last 9 years. But it seems as though Kamla Persad-Bissessar may not have doctor before her name, but she have chosen the vaccine to get rid of that virus, Arnold Roberts. When I sat here and I saw the talent of Aaron, and I saw the talent of Jillian, and I saw the talent of young Shivanan, St. Joseph, you deserve better than Terrence Dial Singh. You deserve better. And I see Mr. Timal in the crowd. And if you go on Facebook, you will see Mr. Timal fixing every single pothole in St. Joseph because your MP has simply ignored the plights of his constituents. You see, when he reached big office, he forget the people who put him there. But Terrence, you will soon have to calm down. Terrence, you will have to. And today, we have a Minister of National Security. And I heard Jalen mention that he is Sleeping Beauty. Jalen, when last you look at Minister Hines? Because he has failed in every regard of national security. You have a Coast Guard that cannot guard. You have an Air Guard that cannot fly. You have a police service that don't have cars. And you have a minister who simply cannot administer by a government who cannot govern. The PNM, they are a bunch of criminals who have robbed the youths of this country of a future. That is what they are. So don't come and pass no anti-gang and no bail bill, because half all you might end up behind bars. I see, when you pass through Port of Spain, massive development on the Balize house. It's about 4 or 5 stories. But yet, someone in this constituency was evicted because they didn't get a rent relief grant when there was COVID. You have ministers in this government that are receiving $23 million in rent, but they're asking you to pay property tax. You have ministers in this country that are taking tax-free housing and stuff like that, and they cannot give you money, extra money, the public servants, so you could buy groceries, so that you could buy milk, that you could buy Pampers for your children. They don't do that because this is a government that does not care about the people of Trinidad and Tobago. They simply don't care. You have this government who has interfered in almost every single independent institution in this country, so much so that they have collapsed the Police Service Commission. That is why Trinidad and Tobago in our history have been left without a commissioner of police. Do you all remember that? And now you have a commissioner of police who is rubbing shoulders with Minister Hines. Well, tonight I want to tell Mr. Jacob, you better find better friends than that, Keep better company, because that man will get you into trouble. Because we have people in this country who cannot feel safe. You are in self-imposed jails in your own homes. You have to lock up your house. You can't lime outside. You can't go and visit your family because you know what? You are afraid that you will be robbed, murdered, raped, or killed. And then the Minister of National Security will go on national television to tell you that his job is not to make the people feel safe. When he collects over $40,000 every month in salary, what are you getting that for? Your job is to ensure that the people of Trinidad and Tobago can live a safe life. That is your job. That is your job. And you see, as our deputy political leader tells us, elections have consequences. They do have consequences because you have failure in every single regard in this country. What is working? The economy has crashed. The healthcare system has crashed. The education system has crashed. The national security system has crashed. If you can tell me one thing that is working, I will be very surprised. Because when you go into that parliament, they will boast and they will operate as though nothing has happened. While they are sitting in cabinet, not thinking about your standard of living, but rather their standard of living. They have recused themselves for over 210 times from the cabinet. And you know what that means? That means that they're not making decisions to put more money in your pocket, or give your children an education, or give your children a laptop. When they recuse themselves because they have a personal benefit in multi-billion-dollar decisions, or their family. That is what the cabinet recusal is about. And they have recused themselves not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 210 times. That is a shameless, disgraceful PNM government. And we must do all in our power. We must do all in our power to get rid of this PNM government. So whenever the election bell is rung, Barataria Sanwan must hold hands with St. Joseph, who must hold hands with St. Augustine, and hold hands with Tunapuna until we reach Toko, and we paint this entire Trinidad and Tobago yellow, restoring Kamala Persad-Bissessar as our Prime Minister, and the MPs that we currently have as the next government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. I thank you very much, UNC family.
Thank you very much, MP Saddam Hussein. Our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, is a child of the UNC who has blossomed into a warrior to the people. Her roles as deputy political leader of the UNC, a senator, she was the youngest chairman, and let me say this, the best ever chairman of the Tunapuna Piako Regional Corporation. Street captain, she was a youth officer, campaign and area manager. She advocates against various social issues such as violence against women, gender equity, children, as well as fighting for roads, water, and lights for her community. She is the deputy chairman of the United National Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome my Member of Parliament for St. Augustine, Ms. Khadija Amin.
My UNC family, good evening. I want to commend my brothers and sisters in St. Joseph constituency for your overwhelming support for tonight's TNT Speaks meeting and for the United National Congress. Our coordinator, my brother, the coordinator for St. Joseph, who was recently elected as the Northeast Coordinator, Anil Roberts. Give him a round of applause. My colleagues, tonight, I came straight from an activist meeting in St. Augustine. And I listened to our councillors speaking on this platform tonight. This year, 2022, a local government election is due. But you know, it is only when they have a local government election coming up that the PNM does know about local government. Other than that, they don't care. They don't care about you. When Amit and Safraz and Raquel go in and beg for material to fill potholes, when Sima down in Bamboo asking someone to donate an excavator to clean drains so you wouldn't have floods, they don't care about that. The PNM has systematically neglected local government, and then they will come and ask for your vote. And you must tell them, enough is enough, time to get rid of the PNM. You must run them. My friends, in this country, we have a government who now deciding that Trinidad and Tobago needs cleaning up. You know, since 2010, Kamala Persad-Bissessar had the Clean and Beautify Trinidad and Tobago campaign. You remember when Kamala Persad-Bissessar became Prime Minister, every community, every constituency had additional resources to keep their environment clean and presentable and prevent flooding. But what happened when the PNM came in? In 2015, as soon as they won government, they fired 100 litter prevention wardens. Since that, they have reduced the amount of funding to local government to collect garbage. In Tunapuna-Piako region, where St. Augustine constituency sits, every area has less days that the truck collects garbage. And throughout the country, you have the PNM starving the regional corporation and our hard-working councillors of resources. And then we partner. I just tell them, pocket squares don't fill potholes. You cannot come with your PR and expect to fix the situation that you caused. So when you neglect the corporations, when you deprive them of resources, and then you come with a bright idea to have a cleanup campaign, Reds, we're doing that since you was a baby. Come down from there. Local government is not about fancy things. It is about real people and real situations. So don't feel you put on a little TikTok and put on a strap-on and go up in a cherry picker and show off. We know you wasn't cutting no real grass there, but you're trying to be relatable and trying to pretend to people that you understand real issues. We know that the PNM does not care about local government. And this year, for this local government election, we must vote overwhelmingly so that the PNM sees it is time to call a general election and tell the PNM, come down from there. Enough is enough. Time to get rid of Keith Rowley. I want to take this opportunity too to thank the people of St. Joseph under the leadership of your coordinator, Anil Roberts, for coming out on Sunday the 26th. We had rain, we had flood, we had high winds, and you, the UNC members, you came out and you voted overwhelmingly for Kamla Persad-Bissessar to return as political leader. I want to put you on notice now that there are detractors who will try to destabilize this party, who will try to defame Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, who is our political leader. And we must stand firm against that for the sake of the entire country. This is not about who like who and who wear nice shoes and what dress Kamla wear. This is not about who like Kamla, who don't like Kamla. This is about the fact that the PNM is running this country to the ground. That more people are being murdered. That more people cannot feed their children. That our children are facing destitution in their future. And we have to stand against it. So I want to put you on a warning from now. All those who will sow discontent in any part of this country, in any part of our beloved land, that we must stand firm against it. And regardless of what happens, Rowley and the PNM must go. They must go. So tonight, I thank you for your dedication to the United National Congress. I thank you for your vote for the star slate to become the national executive. I renew my commitment to you as your deputy chairman, returning, newly elected, and I ask you to let us stay strong and resolved against any division to remove the PNM. Thank you very
Thank you very much, MP Khadija. Let's hear it one more time for the MP. Now, MP Khadija, I have a special respect for you because when you talk in Parliament, not one of them PNM can say anything after. So thank you, MP, for representing strongly. I told you all UNC has the best, and the next speaker is another great one. He is a former skipper the national side. I refer to him as the skipper, national football side. He's a humble family man, an outspoken champion of the people. In his rise to international football, acclaim, he asserted himself as a true patriot of Trinidad and Tobago and represented the red, white, and black globally. His aspiration to help in the evolution and progress of the young people of our nation is what encouraged him to enter the world of politics. He performs his role as senator by utilizing his international experience to unite the communities. And you know what? He was part of that senatorial team that defeated the PNM the day before. Please welcome Senator David Nuckett.
In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge to the Islamic community of Trinidad and Tobago and worldwide this, the time of Hajj, Dhul al-Hajj, and in these days where most of the Islamist community are paying attention and performing the Hajj ritual in Mecca. So our blessings, our love, our support go out to the Islamic community worldwide. Having said that, all protocols observed with all our people. I am a boy, a young, raised, born and bred from St. Joseph. So I welcome the best mind, my brother for 30-something years, Arnold Roberts, to St. Joseph. Having said that, I've heard a lot of the speakers talk today about come down from the Rowley. That beast ain't coming down from nowhere. That beast ain't coming, that's a different kind of animal we're dealing with. We have to pull him down. We have to make him come down from there. And how we do that is what Saddam Hussein talked about a little bit. And yes, where's Saddam? Yes, he's a terrorist, my brother. He's a political terrorist. And you're going after them from now. You understand? So I like what Saddam talked about. We have to come together. We have to come together. Because you don't realize all of a sudden people start to talk about, well, why the opposition don't join hands with the government? We're going to join. You could ever see me going and hold hands with Fitzgerald Hines? I have a certain gag reflex. I go throw up. Fitzgerald Hines. They have said and done the nastiest things to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We going on hold hands with them. Be careful, my brothers and sisters. All of a sudden you see people coming out of the woodwork. Join hands. In all kind of surreptitious ways and duplicitous ways. Talking about disrespect. We must have respect for each other. When they was dragging our political leader up and down Trinidad and Tobago, why they didn't talk about respect? When they're killing little black boys all over Trinidad and Tobago, why are you talking about disrespect? When he has taken away milk grant from single mothers, why we didn't talk about disrespect? All of a sudden when the government under pressure you're talking about, we must hold hands and sing Kumbaya. We ain't doing that. We pulling you down from there. We pulling you down from there. We not asking you to come down from there. We pulling you down. So brothers and sisters, hear what it's come down to. It come down to what is your benefit as citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. What is in your interest? And we have to share that with all of us here. Because the UNC is the most diverse party here. And they all the talking heads, they still keep trying to tell you, no, we only from South and Central. Nah, we from everywhere. Our deputy political leader, how many votes she get now? 7,000 plus. Tinapuna 7,000 plus. They will try and tell it different. We are the only truly national party in Trinidad and Tobago. Truly. We don't have no tokenism here. You could bring Anna Roberts and tell him he's a token. You could bring Jolene John and tell her she's a token. She'll cuss you out. And you know if you come by me with that ain't happening. So what we have in this party are people ready to raise the living level of all our people across Trinidad and Tobago. And for us to do that, we have to do that together. So here what it is. When I tell you what Rowley do everything for rich man business. So when Rowley closed down Petrochin, for who he do that? That was rich man business. When Kamla Prasad Bissessa make sure that school children had laptops, who that was for? That was poor man business. When Keith Christopher Rowley make sure and give Faris rental of millions of dollars, that was who? That was what? Let me hear. Rich man business. When Kamla Prasad Bissessa tell people in Shafford Court, Nelson Street, I will let, and Jolene John too, I will let all their own all their houses. That was what? Poor man business. When Keith Christopher Rowley come and close education and start to give it based on what? Selection. What is that? That is what? Rich man business. When Kamla Prasad Bissessa come now and expand education, for who? For the poor and working class. That is what? Poor man business. So when I tell you, when we had a sports minister, the best sports minister Trinidad and Tobago ever see, build aquatic center, open up stadia for all, bring live sport into the communities, feed black people and Indian people children. What is that? Poor man business. Rowley come and take it away and give what? Give what? Give what? To his financiers. That is what? Rich man business. What we have to decide as a people, it's not only about enough is enough. We have to bring this thing down. We have to mobilize. We have to energize. We have to organize from here on in. Because listen, this serious business. We might talk here and give little pecan. This serious business. This is the lives of your lives and the lives of your children and your grandchildren at stake. It's been talking this normal wicked. Keith Rowley is not a normal wicked man, you know. This is a beast. This is a man come today. Frankerman lie talking about bail amendment bill. Well, how they pass it will help the criminals. But you're the biggest criminal in Trinidad and Tobago. You misbehave in public office. You, the president, and Blessy Prasad, and you walking about talking about criminals. They get their cue from you, Keith Christopher Rowley. You should be the first one in jail. And my letters will keep going to the DPP and make sure that you get in jail. Keith Rowley must see a jail in Trinidad and Tobago. If he didn't see one in the United States of America. And you know what I'm talking about. So people of Trinidad and Tobago, people of the UNC, I ain't have a little love for all, you know. I have plenty love for all. And what I say all the time, love in the house, all the time.
I have one message here tonight for Tunapuna. Esmond Ford, watch your back, because David Nackett coming for it in the next general elections. Our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, is a true son of the soil, having been raised within the constituency of Chaguanas West, where he has contributed significantly to the social, economic, and cultural development of the community. He is an attorney at law with 19 years of experience. He has also served in the industrial court. Within the constituency of Chaguanas West, he has been active with the Monroe Road Village Council and other groups where he has worked and create structures which can work to reduce poverty, allow for sustainable youth development, as well as empowerment for women. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome this dynamic patriot stance. He's ready to fight for betterment for the people of Chaguanas. Let us welcome MP Dines Rambally.
Good evening, St. Joseph. Our honorable political leader, Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, Senior Counsel, Leader of the Opposition, to all of you in St. Joseph, our honorable Deputy Political Leader, Ms. Jillian John, all my parliamentary colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start off first by thanking, on behalf of Shogunas West, I want to thank Anil Roberts, Neil Gosain, I want to thank Vishnu Kunkun, that whole St. Joseph executive, and all of you members of St. Joseph, doing a phenomenal job. Ladies and gentlemen, when I was on the way here, my wife who is in the audience, she told me, she said, listen, don't talk long, you know. I just want to hear the Deputy Political Leader, Jillian John, tonight, so make it quick. And I myself want to hear from the warriors tonight. I just want to share maybe two thoughts with you all. You know, there's this man called Reginald Amos, Senior Counsel. Right? This man, right now, occupying the office of the Attorney General. Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa bust some marks on him that he's still reeling right now. The talk is he sent a resignation, but Rowley refused to accept it. I don't know how true it is, but only time will tell. Tuesday, MP Saddam Hussein and myself, we felt ashamed for this man. After all the years in the profession, we felt ashamed. We go on in a corner, we huddle. Say, boy, it's better. We never thought we would say this, but it's better we had Faris instead of this man. And Saddam, you remember what we were talking? We said, boy, it's better we tell Faris, boy, stop brushing everybody bush and come down there and take over the AG office. Brush cutting people's bush and come down there and, you know, get down to work. But this man, you see what David Nackett said, and all, you're lucky, you know, this man fast hold it today, otherwise Nackett was still talking here tonight. David Nackett and the other members, Rowley have a way when he started to talk. Everybody asked this man, a Miami court say, Reggie Amor disqualified. Rowley come and he say, no, me, I don't know nothing about no disqualification, I know about a recusal. Well, that is after Saddam bust the mark on him. That's after Saddam bust the mark on them, how much time they recused from the cabinet. So that's the only word he know. But you have, should be good. He only know about recusal, he don't know about disqualification. They have a way, when you start to talk about how failure taking place in education, you will hear Anita Haynes and you will hear MP Khadija on that. They will tell you, no, education not failing. We need to attack the concordat. So they want to attack the things that actually working. You tell them something taking place in the country and is crime-ridden. They say, no, it's not crime-ridden. We had to clamp down more on all the law-abiding citizens. So they just do things in reverse. So Reggie Amor, the man get found lying on an affidavit, saying he's a junior lawyer, he was a note taker. All you tell me, you could ask MP Saddam, you could ask Brian Big, I see Jayanti Lakshmi Dayal here. You could ask the lawyers, they will tell you. If you sit down to represent anybody accused of a crime, or having committed a crime, the first thing you have to do, if you are part of that team, is you have to take instructions. You can imagine going and telling a lawyer something and the lawyer just sit down and watch you in your face and go on in court and he forget what you tell him. That is what this man wants you to believe, you know. He going to represent Trinidad and Tobago in proceedings in Miami court and he forgets. He's saying he forgets he was involved in a matter, and that is one of the most high profile matters in this country. And he know the people telling him that you act for us before. So you can't check your records and get that straight. And again, I come back, if you are a lawyer worth any salt, the first thing you know you have to do is you have to sit down and take instructions as to what the defense is, because you are being accused of a crime. So you have to take that information. So you can't remember that, and these people telling you that on an application in Miami, and you go on and write a set of garbage. So we have to ask now, why did you do that? You are senior counsel. How could you make a mistake? So that is something that you all, the people, must judge that. But I leave Amor there for now. When we get to what took place on Tuesday, and this is what I really came here, I want to share with you all tonight. You see, this party, United National Congress, I have never been more proud than now to be a member of United National Congress. I want to tell all you something. People don't know the kind of work that's going on behind the scenes, you know. All you only hear Anil big mouth, but when you see mouth quiet, the man doing real work, you know. Anil, you're surprised, eh? People ain't know your mouth could be quiet. When Mrs. Prasad Bisesa, and this is what has happened when we say parliamentary caucus, don't feel them fellas bricks in all day. I want to hear about your drinking and thing, eh? The pothole. They have work to do. And when you see Friday night, into Saturday, once they knew we got notice, MP Saddam will tell you that we're going to debate bail bill. She said, okay, and this is a normal thing. MPs, coordinators, get on the ground and find out what is the word. You see, a matter like bail bill, don't get tied up, you know. Everybody had to comb some part of the constituency to find out what was the word in the ground. How do you feel about this? And when you see you get that, you have to come up in the headquarters and you have to report back and say, this is what my constituency is saying. And when you report that, we say, okay, what you as a member of parliament, what you as a coordinator, what you as a senator think about it. And you have to start talking the law. And that lady is a senior counsel. So imagine the kind of work you have to deliver in front of her. Friday night and Saturday night, you get a call saying, we have to come down there. 2 o'clock in the morning, everybody fishing now. We had to reach down headquarters. 2 o'clock in the morning, you know. That's the message that came. So you had to find yourself down here now. Drop what you're doing. And I think MP Saddam was the last one to leave Sunday night. He left about 9:30, 10 o'clock. I run away. I say, Saddam, you handle from here, you know. But this is the kind of work. And you know what happened? That is the kind of work that went into seeing the defeat of that bail amendment bill. Rowley come today. Here Rowley in a press conference. He said the bail bill didn't get defeated, you know. It's the Trinidad and Tobago people who get defeated. It's them who caused this. You have your AG come and pilot something. I just want to explain something quickly to you all. You know what is a sunset clause? Anytime you come with a piece of law and it have a sunset clause, it means that if that time is coming to expire, the sun is going to set on that piece of legislation. Just like the anti-gang bill, that's what happened here with this one. And when the sun coming to set on that piece of law, you know what you have to do? You have to say, okay, what is the efficacy? How is this law working? Is it working? And we didn't oppose it, you know. We just asked the government, you tell us how this piece of law working. So anytime you're passing a law, and I hear somebody, some senator, I think Jayanti Lakshmi, I'll deal with him good and proper, asking what has changed for the opposition. Partner, you're wrong side. Pour on your pants, correct the man. When you have to deal with these kind of things, when you have to deal with these type of laws, it's not for the opposition to say what has changed. It is for the government to say that the law is working, and that's why we want to change it. We want to extend the time for it. That's for us, and we just asking a simple question. So the sun was setting on that law. That's why you call it sunset clause. And they couldn't come and say it was working. Plain and simple, you know, it have no law in that. And that's all we were asking them. The AG couldn't defend it. Nobody could defend it. Now we are coming to say, here what's going on. Rowley come to talk about 1994. The man started a whole history lecture about 94 and 97 and how much time bail bill was amended and treated with and whatever. The long and short of all that nonsense he talked today is when it was passed in 2019, for a period of 3 years, we knew that it was going to interfere with your rights. Once you have law that's going to interfere with your rights more than normal, you put the sunset clause. That's all. It's so simple. Anil Roberts is talking about these things on his Douglas program. So he couldn't say why we needed that to be to continue. And ladies and gentlemen, bail bill. Let me tell you something. Bail, and I will conclude with this. Bail is very simple. You know what bail is? Bail is if you get charged. So according to the Douglas, if a man get charged for larceny, stealing gravel in some land-aid project in Tobago, if they charge him and he had to go there now before the court, the point about it is they can say, hey, you had to post bail because we charge you, and this is a crime that has a serious penalty attached to it. So bail is one thing. It is make sure that if you charge, remember you're not tried yet, you know. You presume innocent in this country until proven guilty. So if you're charged, that bail will ensure that you're relieved from being imprisoned at the beginning. And the second thing is, you think it really fair for you to be in prison and people feeding you and doing everything and shipping you down to court all the time and all our money spending? That is the next reason for bail. So you now put up something that the government will hold, that if anything should happen, they have something over you. That's all. Rowley come to give a whole big lecture today, talking a pack of garbage and going on and on. But I come back to how that bill was defeated. When they realized Jolene John cracked them, Anil Roberts cracked them, you had, this was on Monday, all you watch the timeline. When you had in the Senate, Wade Mack, that man is easy, you know, Senator Wade Mack. So Senator Wade Mack, you had Marsha Walker, Jolene John, David Naked, right? You had these fellas, Anil Roberts, Damian Lyda. So when they do that and they put one good curtail on them on Monday, they adjourned the proceedings. They couldn't take that vote. And you know what happened? MP Saddam will tell you. Monday night, you know, they send a message. They say, hey, we can't debate what all you want to debate in the House Day tomorrow on Tuesday, you know. And the MPs, you know, they say we have to debate something else because we were supposed to debate that same bail bill on Tuesday, but they couldn't do it. They're getting the tail cut, good and proper. We know they invent our next bill, and that's where we went before the Parliament on Tuesday. When they start to see licks flying on Tuesday, they say, nah boy, this is too much licks. And Wednesday morning now, they had no choice because that sunset clause coming to an end in the beginning of August, the 4th of August. They bring it on Wednesday. Jayanti Lakshmidal put one good cut skin in the tail again. So I'm telling all of this because this is the instrument of Mrs. Prasad Bisesa, which started some time back, and I tell you over the weekend, this is the kind of work that went in. And that is why I'm telling you all, this is the team you must support. This is the team that I am very proud to be associated with, and I just wanted to share those thoughts with you all. All of you, like myself, now is the time. Be proud of your party, be proud of your leader, be proud of all of your members of parliament, all your representatives. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yes. And that what MP Rambally said there is facts. It's not FAX, but FACTS. Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue the show, it's time to get off your chairs and dance because the entertainment has arrived. I'm here to introduce a man, a humble man from South, rooted deep in the culture of Trinidad and Tobago. Say with me here tonight, St. Joseph Posse, PNM must go, Rowley must go, PNM must go, Rowley must go. Let me hear you. Louder! Introducing Kerry John. Where Kerry John?
One time. Gosh. Good night, UNC family. How you feeling? Yeah. If you know Rowley had to go, let me hear. Let's say Rowley had to go. Rowley must go. Yeah. I want to make some noise for the next Prime Minister, Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa. I want to make some noise. DJ ready? As you're ready, one time. Yeah. Why? Let me see all the way for the flag. What we say? Rowley had to go, PNM must go, Rowley had to go, tell them go, Rowley had to go, PNM must go, Rowley had to go. Everyone coming out to bring about a change, Rowley had to go. I see young and old, we crying out for this. What we want? We want a government to do policy, a government to do joke, a government to do fight we down, a government to do work, a government with integrity. Look how they understand. Left to right, everybody. Rowley had to go, PNM must go, Rowley had to go. Tell them go, Rowley had to go, eh? PNM must go. When next election we go, vote them out. Vote them out. I want to see all the voting finger. Ha. Vote them out. Yo, going on. Everything's selling out and not working out again. Hey, it's only joke like they was sell out. We name. Yo, we want a government to drill policy. A government to do fight we down. A government to does work. A government to integrity. Look how they understand. Everybody, push it up in the sky. Start away of it. Rowley had to go. Rowley had to. PNM must go. Rowley had to go. Tell them go in the back here. Yo, PNM must go. Say everybody, let we vote them out. Vote them out. Tell Rowley time to resign. Vote them out. When you see him waving bye-bye, Rowley had to go. Let me hear you sing it now. Rowley had to go. Louder. Rowley had to go. Tell them go. Gosh. Yeah. So they don't know. Rowley have to go this next election. The UNC going back on top. Here going on. The next song I want to sing for you is a song named Talk. And this song is dedicated to you, especially towards the PNM party, because all they do is talk. But talk done. DJ, ready for me again? Whoa, hey. As you ready, DJ? Getting a little technical difficulties, so I might sing it a cappella until you get it. Alright, so this one is talk. Say, whoa, hey, Carry John again now. Me watch enough for them boy, them they stock it. When I forget the youths now have no money for the market. When Mr. Politician, when they talk it, make sure you coulda walk it. The PNM does talk, say them talk and talk. But what in the dark shall come in the light for see. Camilla a shine the light for we vote in UNC, cause PNM does talk, say them talk and talk. No love in them only cater for minority. But what about the majority? Here going on. Kid Rowley, them I happy, them I happy. When you're looking at the face, they look so damn unhappy. Some of them not down to earth, them not have no gravity. So they rather see the poor living more poverty. No wonder Trinidad is in a calamity. And what the children them want, them not getty PNM so petty. Don't trust them. Talk and action and not a damn thing, which is absurd and disgusting. So talk, the PNM talk and talk. What in the dark shall come in the light for see. Come like a shine the light for we vote in UNC, cause PNM does talk. Say them talk and talk. No love in them only cater for minority. But what about the majority? I'm here going on. Right here now we fed up the bag of talk and the bag of lie. The drama tears where they cry, they are crocodile. Yet them I wonder still man from Beverly Hill and love until an enterprise. A wrong where's not smile. And none you do with no bad man profile. When they walk in the kitchen and the kitchen not have oil and the money you work for can raise the child. PNM jack up the price and feed we with talk. See them talking. No love in them only cater for minority. But what about the majority? We vote in UNC cause Keith Rowley does talk. Say them talk and talk. No love in them only cater for minority. But what about the majority? Gosh, my name is Kerry John. Love you all. You all make some noise. Thank you very much.
What I say? Give them pressure. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall continue. And the entertainment does not stop there. Please put your hands together as we welcome the Malik Youngsters Tassa Group to the stage. Give them more pressure. Back. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as we welcome the Douglas, the one and only Anil Roberts, Senator Anil Roberts.
UNC family, you know how you recognize the devil? The devil don't like children. The devil will starve children. The devil will leave children in homes with pedophiles raping and beating them and don't care for 8 months. The devil will take education from children. The devil will leave children out for others to kill them, batter them, rape them, and beat them. The devil will cut gates so you cannot get tertiary education. The devil will even take food off of children's tables. The devil will take baby milk out of babies' mouths. I put it to you that Keith Christopher Rowley is the flipping devil and we must pull him down. We must pull him down from there. The PNM is so predictable. Today I take a little, I don't know how to take a selfie, so I kind of do a selfie, one of my first. And it come out good, and they see chair with gold. Lisa Parry fix up the place nice because UNC is gold. Gold medal. We don't say we're number 1 in the world, but we dead last. We's really golden. And when I take the picture, I post it, and I know what them PNM would have say. And they jump out, because they see fancy chair, and they see other kind of chair. So the PNM take the basket and set a ball. Robert, look at all your only high class, all you like rich people, look separation in all your chair. PNM, look the activists them on the stage sitting down here because it's the people. Because Kamala Prasad Bisasa does not play games. She don't pretend to kiss baby. She don't go in funeral to take picture. She don't go to church when the police looking for you at special branch because you deposit $4.4 million. You can't explain it and you start to get the spirit and you look like a devil getting his foot burned in the church. Kamala love people. And so Kamala's people love people. And that's what the UNC is. So the devil, the one thing the devil afraid. The devil afraid love. Kamala is love. Rowley afraid Kamala. Rowley, keep Kamla name out your mouth, you bald-head miscreant. Because if you come for Kamla, you had to pass through all of we. We must learn from our people. They say the Dogra. Why they say the Dogra? Because the Dogra had no race. It don't matter what. The Douglas just watch you. If you say good morning, well, good morning. If you say good job, good job. If you work hard, you work hard. The Douglas don't see hair, don't see weave, don't see eyelash, don't see lipstick, don't see nail polish, don't see nothing. Douglas just see what is good and what is bad. That's how our politics should be. Because they try to divide us. But look at St. Joseph today. I see black, I see African, I see Indian, I see Dogra, I see Syrian, I see Chinese, I see Portuguese, I see religion, I see Muslim, I see Hindu, I see Christian, I see Orisha, I see people of Trinidad and Tobago united against evil. And we sit here on hallowed ground in Aranguez. Aranguez is from the seeds of struggle and sacrifice. It has moved from that to the blooms of patrimony and progress. For me, it is always humbling to come to Aranguez. This community exposes some fundamental values that, if embraced nationally, will make this country of ours as much a better place for all. I have been spending some time in Aranguez recently, touching base with the people. Let me tell you some things that really moved me to my core about this place in Aranguez that we could learn from here and disseminate across Trinidad and Tobago. Aranguez shows how real sacrifice and dedication of families are truly the foundation for the next generation and the future. Aranguez shows that with this foundation, in just 2 generations, and I'm going to repeat that, in just 2 generations, one can proudly move from the humblest of beginnings to the modest and comfort and financial security. That's the dream of Kamla Prasad Bisesa for all her citizens. Her citizens must not be stuck on CPEP for 20 years. Her citizens must have education. So if mama is on CPEP, the son is a neurosurgeon. If mama is working hard, working 3 jobs, the son is a senior counsel, or the daughter is a doctor, or the doctor is a pilot. And that is the dream and the vision of Kamla Prasad Bisesa. And that is what has taken place here in Aranguez in 2 generations. Aranguez shows that one can move from being purely a farming community to being a self-sufficient community, where you can find everything and anything you need, from supermarkets, bars, restaurants, to retail stores and electricals, to pharmacies and medical services, and to do so without losing the connection to the importance of agriculture in feeding oneself. I walk down the Aranguez main road, and I see vegetable stall after vegetable stall with the freshest of food, as if I am on a street food tour, tourism tour in a different country, a country that respects agriculture, respects people, and respects our food. It came from years of hard work. These things did not happen just so, Senator Obika. They didn't happen just so. It came from years of hard work and sacrifice of the great-grandfathers and mothers of the area, who laid the groundwork and value system in the early years. And if that is Indian people, well, all my people must learn from that, and we must move forward and learn and live, and everybody lift up. But not with Rowley. All the food must eat upstairs in air condition, in rental. The food mustn't go downstairs. All you must stay hungry. That is an evil man. There are few people in this community who have been pioneers in their own right. Here in Aranguez, we have old man Fazal, who came on the Mercy ship with his parents straight from India. They started off their journey into Waterloo cane fields and then moved to Aranguez. Old man Fazal lived a long, fulfilling life and died when he was 106 years old. Then there's Uncle Ken, who amongst a few others had the vision to start a garden shop to help support and service the farmers in the community. Ken's garden shop was a household name, not only amongst the farmers in Aranguez, but in Farm Road, Curep, and up in the hills of St. Joseph. It was even a household name for the researchers at the time in Kariri. Ramutar's Hardware on Eastern Main Road, also initially hailing from Aranguez. Also, we cannot forget Tilak Mother and the other older tanties in the area who helped so many children and families when they needed a Nara rub or Jarin. The food and coconut vendors in the area and many, many farmers and families who made it possible for us to be here today. Not to mention the iconic Aranguez Savannah, where David Naked, one of the greatest players in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, learned his craft. It's a melting pot of cultures and people, sport and dance, music, education. This is why Kamla Prasad Bisesa invests in culture and sport for the people. But Aranguez is suffering under the PNM. The people of Aranguez are wading in the morass of ineptitude and inequity, criminal activity, neglect. The arable lands of the farmers are suffering flooding because of poor drainage. Maintenance of all the facilities and roads infrastructure is terrible. If you look away for a second, you bust your tire and your rim in one. The erosion of the values of our people is occurring daily, as our children cannot even go to school without carrying a knife. It is incumbent upon each and every one of us, including a UNC government, to deal with these problems and to build on the foundation that the grandfathers and grandmothers of Aranguez laid down. So from Aranguez shall come the government of the UNC. From Aranguez, St. Joseph will go UNC. From St. Joseph, Kamla Prasad Bisesa will become the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, and the country will breathe a sigh of relief as we say, "Come down, you devil, come down." I end by saying, one of my weaknesses is that I can't talk about myself. But one of my strengths is I'm a team player. So I call upon one of my teammates, my senatorial brother, to talk a little bit about the partner. I bring to the microphone Senator Damian Lyda.
Well, Anna Robert set me up again. I write no speech. But good night to St. Joseph and the St. Joseph Constituency. Let me hear some noise. St. Joseph, I don't think the boss lady Kamla Prasad Bisesa heard you scream. Let me hear you say, scream for UNC tonight. Brothers and sisters of St. Joseph, how good and how pleasant it is to be with my UNC family in this soon-to-be UNC constituency of St. Joseph. And what an honor and a privilege it is to be called up by my brother, my senatorial colleague, my best friend, my family, the Dogla, and the next member of parliament for St. Joseph, Anil the Dogla Roberts. Let me hear you sing. Let me tell you something about Anil Roberts. This is one of the hardest working members of this party, hardest working citizens in this country that I have seen. This man, every single week on Dogla Politics, twice a week on the radio,
talking about this nasty, wicked Rowley administration walking the streets of St. Joseph and right here in Aranguez, walking the streets and touching the hands. When is the last time you see the Alsing in the streets? When is the last time? When is the last time the Alsing stopped by the side of the road to shed a tear for you? When is the last time? But this is one of the hardest working men I know. And he was the best minister of sport ever launched by Kamala Persad in this country. I heard my brother Senator Naked talk about the aquatic center. I hear him talk about the cycling velodrome. I didn't hear him talk about the tennis center. And I did not hear him talk when Anil Roberts, as the Minister of Sport, gave this country 83 sporting grounds to the length and breadth of this country. And when the People's National Movement observed and delivered geographic discrimination upon this nation, the PNM left many of those sporting grounds dark in darkness. I'll get into you now, my brother. I see you in the crowd. They left it in darkness. And I saw a father hold his son and cry in the darkness of the night in a sporting ground and look up to the sky and say, God, send us some light for these grounds. And you know what God did? God sent the country Anil Roberts as the Minister of Sport, and he said, let there be light. That is what he said. And there was light. So brothers and sisters, as I close here with you all today, and I hand over to my brother, when I look through the constituency of St. Joseph and see the neglect and wanton waste of money in this constituency, coming through here tonight and dropping in every pothole, if it had one more pothole, the road would have been smooth. But I'll tell you something. When this country has to go back to the polls, this melting pot called St. Joseph, I heard my brother talk about Islam. I know there are Hindus, brothers and sisters inside of this country. When they do it, and I see my brothers from the Sandy Grande Regional Corporation come all the way to St. Joseph to support Anil Roberts. Big up. And when the time comes, let me not forget, this is a constituency with Catholics in it too. So on behalf of the Catholic community, I will say this. When the time comes, just as Daniel walked in the lion's den, come all ahead the scripture, just as Samson conquered the Philistines with a donkey jawbone, so will Kamala Persad Bissessa, supported by Anil Roberts, rescue St. Joseph and bring it back to its glory. I thank you.
Now, I feel all your crystal ball, because this meeting here look like it have election. So me know, if all you know, the election coming, but I feel the Yankee go have something to do with that. Rowley, did they interview you in the USA? Rowley, did they ask you questions? Rowley, do you like the color orange? Rowley, now, all your old Lord, PCY 9257, please move quickly. Somebody would like to get out. PEB 586, PCW 1496, PBS 2448. I tell all you, the meeting big and a breaking protocol. All you stay there. A lady who represents Kamala Persad Bissessa in every way. A lady who works night and day. A lady who is going to bring Trinidad and Tobago good governance. A lady, a deputy political leader. Stand and welcome the Honorable Jolene John.
Senator Damian Lyder and Anil Roberts. For sure I can't. I don't have the voice to scream like that. When I heard Senator Roberts ask Senator Lyder to have a few short words, I told Senator Naked, I said, boy, let me go. This is midnight story. Senator Lyder is definitely not the definition of short. He's talking about his height. So thank you very much. I know you've been here for quite a while, and we have had many great speakers, and I thank you so much for coming out. St. Joseph, after the hockey total power, you're the best team. After, all right? I wanna thank you. A great team, Senator Roberts. And I know that coming out of this, we are really going to take this momentum onto the streets of Trinidad and Tobago. And I know when the election bell is rung, the next time St. Joseph will be in the UNC column. I have no doubt about it. It is not a joke that Anil Roberts worked very hard. And he has the best heart. That is what he hides. That he has the best heart. You understand? He's a softie. Hey man, that David Naki to us play that he's bad to the bone. When he says love in the house, he really means it. So I really want to thank you. I know we were talking a little bit on the good, brilliant MP Rambally and Saddam Hussein. Jayanti has left because she has to go down to San Fernando. You know, they spoke about this bail bill. Now, the bail bill was not only a piece of legislation, you know. This bail bill is about people's lives. And anytime you are going to affect people's lives in a negative way, Kamla Prasad Bisesa will be in the gap. She doesn't make joke with that. And what MP Rambally said about her commanding us to get into the headquarters on Sunday at 3 p.m. Let us go and caucus to ensure we were ready for them on Monday. And I must say how fond we are and how grateful we are to Senator Wade Mark. He is phenomenal. He is the baddest, fiercest politician that I know. He gives no quarters acts and none given. So we strategized and we knew just where we had to go. And on Monday, we did what we had to do. And we cornered them because we're talking about people's lives. We're talking about the black boys from Duncan Street. We're talking about them from George Street. We're talking about C. Lots and Beetham. We're talking about Helyard and right here in St. Joseph. Wherever there are black youths, that is what that bail bill is about, because their life doesn't matter. And I can tell you from personal experience, I was never in trouble, but at 22 years old, I had my daughter. And they looked at me in the hospital. I fit the demographic, a poor, a black, a picky head. And the nurses told me, not because they wanted to be unkind, they said, I said, I will never come back here. They said, no, we're going to see you here in 9 months. I never went back. No, they were not being unkind. I fit the demographic. You understand? I mean, that little girl today is an attorney at law. And when I took her to Barbados for her second year of law school, I stood in the same line with Minister Camille Robinson-Regis and Mrs. Rowley, because their daughters also were in law school second term. And I was happy for them. You understand? Because black people are not short on ambition or ability. What they need is an opportunity. And when one Mr. Baslio Pandey saw me and knew that I worked hard, I wasn't in politics. I didn't like politics, you know. I just liked the technical part of work. And he gave me an opportunity. He put me on one board. He thought nobody could outwork me, by the way. And he'll just pretend. Come here, darling. Yeah? If I tell him that he's harassing me the whole time, look how you both me. You understand? So, nobody's a real hard worker. There's no doubt about it. I went on another board. And then I was appointed the CEO of a large state corporation at 35 years old. Why that happened? Because Baslio Pandey gave me an opportunity. These people need opportunities. They don't need more jail. They need more opportunities. When somebody said you're going to be back here because you fit a profile, I could have been back there, but I decided to work hard. So I'm saying, I want to thank my colleague senators and MPs Saddam Hussein and Rambally and whomever, who were there to help us, to ensure that we were ready. Because when we knew we had them cornered on Monday evening, we knew that. And when I saw the newspaper report very early in the morning, I saw where a particular senator had said, what changed with the opposition? Now I called Senator Mark one time, and I said, let me tell you something. There comes a time when you have to get into trouble. You have to get into good trouble, as the civil rights leader, John Lewis, said. And today I'm going to get into good trouble, into necessary trouble. We have to respond to this. Because the question that was asked is, what has changed? And what had changed is that we had given them an opportunity. All right, it had crime. Everybody concerned about this crime. They bully us. There are the people writing all kinds of things. And we said, okay, we're going to give you an opportunity. We give you 3 years, not 3 months, not 3 days, 3 years. And this thing escalating. On Sunday, if you wanted a scorecard on what had happened in this country, you saw it all in the papers on Sunday. Rivers of blood. Young children, I call them children, being shot today. I'm reading where 3 who were shot, the autopsy said they were shot in the back. This is the wild, wild Trinidad West. This is madness. And it's all coming about because the fundamentals are not there. There are no opportunities. There are no jobs. All they want to use is legislation and jail to fix a problem that is a social problem. It's a social problem. How dare you want to spend $25,000 a month to keep a man incarcerated, to feed he, clothe he, justice on time he, that we know not on time? $25,000 a month. Can you imagine what will happen if that man is trained and he's earning a living and he could buy a house, so you have to line up in front of HEC, which, by the way, because Kamla Prasad Bisasa understands this problem so profoundly, and somebody raised it here tonight, I recall her calling me at the HEC and she said, listen to me. Or everybody who has been living in HEC houses for 30 years or more, give it to them for $100. You tell me how much people living in HEC house voting for Kamla Prasad Bisasa. No, we have to talk it. You understand? Let us talk it. Let us put our finger in that wound. Let us show that this woman is worthy. And don't believe the rubbish they talk. They're just jealous. They're jealous of this. I don't know what is wrong with them. They just want to categorize this woman and caricature this woman as if she means nothing. She means everything to us in the UNC. She means everything to us in the UNC. She said give it to them for $100 because they need to have a stake in their country. Who else would have done that but Kamla Prasad Bisasa? I can tell you, when it came to me at HEC and Dr. Munilal, who also had a very good heart and attitude towards this thing, that people were living in Beetham for over 30 years. And the houses were government built, but they had no ceilings. So can you imagine that heat coming through the corrugated iron when the day came? In sure you live in, you know about that? And then they were living in this multi-family unit, and they had no firewalls. So anytime a fire could break out. You know the catastrophe? We went in, and we fixed 248 units in one go in Beetham, phase 1 to 3. And on phase 4, we did refurbishment work. Who outside in Jordan's vote for us in Beetham? You think this was to get votes? This is because we believe profoundly that every creed and race must find an equal place. And there must be justice, and there must be equity. Because if there is no justice, there will be no peace. If there is no justice, there will be no peace. St. Joseph, I tell you, if there is no justice, there will be no peace. And they're damn right. Because Stuart Young brother can't get and Beetham get him. Beetham get him. He can't get and Beetham get him. How can you be in your country and you're a stranger in your country, and when they think you're an embarrassment, they lock you away and they throw away the keys? That cannot be right. And I'm proud of my senatorial colleagues for standing up and fighting. So that is what has changed. That is what has changed. We are not taking any mess from them. If it is us alone, whether the 19 in the lower house or the 6 in the upper house, we are going to fight on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago. We are going to fight. So stay alert, because they must hear finish yet, you know. Here they say it is now what? A public a public health or public health emergency. So it means they're going to come and slide it in with a simple majority. But we're going to still fight. So tonight I'm very happy to be on the corridor because this strip of land is important. And it is not progressing with the rest of the country. We are seeing, if so many of our young people are falling by the wayside, we cannot feel good about that. And it is not about putting them in jail and throwing away the key. Very briefly, I can tell you, you probably heard it already. I was at a political meeting such as this. And a young man, a set of young men came in the front. And he came up and he said, I want to talk. He said, I want to change my ways. The group of us want to change. We want jobs, we want opportunity. By the following morning, a fellow by the name of Stuart Young, some people have called me Small Pin. He used his power and authority of his ministry at the time, Ministry of National Security, and he found the young man's file, and he blasted him. You know why? Black life matter to he. He could discredit him, disparage him, shame him. You understand? He shamed that fellow. He ended up on the front page of every newspaper in this country. That young man. Because they don't believe that there is any redemption. They don't believe that there can be any change. And that is why they embrace the policy of one shot, one kill. Imagine a man they call him Small Pin behaving like Rambo, who from all accounts had a big gun. Why are they laughing? You saw the movie, yeah? It's about a movie. For Young and Rowley, poor people are invisible. Black people are invisible. They are subhuman. They deserve the worst. Lock the door and throw away the key. But St. Joseph, we cannot have that. We cannot have that. People deserve a chance. And when Kamla Prasad Bisesa decided that she was going to have HYPE and then, NESC and those programs, it was really, you know what HYPE means? HYPE means helping you prepare for employment. Helping you to prepare for employment. Not helping you prepare for jail. Helping you to prepare for employment. MUSC, the Multi-Sector Skills Training Program. It provides training in construction and the hospitality and tourism sector for citizens trying to be. NESC, it provides training for you to participate in the energy and construction industry and industrial industry. GATE, government assistance for tuition expenses. UNC just does drown you in school. And just as I told those guys up at La Hokita, when they came to me, I said, let me tell you something. You have to go back to school. Because they are coming to me, young men. Miss John, do you know anybody in the New Arima Hospital? I want to be a wardsman. They're telling me that. But a man in Las Lomas, a security guard, I was told he was a security guard. A person, the man told me, my son wants to see you, but he's sleeping. Third occasion, my son wants to see you, but he's before. He said, my son is up. So I now felt, because the father had been a security guard, I think Senator Robert made the point, I felt the son too was a security guard. That is why he's sleeping in the day. When I look up on this step, if you see this Indian god coming down from this step, right? He's a young boy, so I couldn't watch too hard, but I appreciated what I saw. He had been, I wouldn't call anybody hospital because this is a wicked government. He was up at night operating on people's brain. He's a brain surgeon. That is what UNC is, aspirational. Recently, our godly MP, Rambally, told me, we wanted him to go and do a press conference. He said, I'm not sure. I'm in quarantine out of an abundance of caution and so on. I said, okay, take care of yourself, because this thing this thing ain't easy, this COVID thing, you understand, it could take you down. He said, don't worry, Senator. My brother is a medical doctor and so is his wife. That is UNC. Me, I said they are UNC, but I'm saying that is who we are. We are aspirational people. We work hard. We are not all doctors and lawyers and what have you. We are plumbers to an electrician and we're called mechanics, but we work hard. That is what we do. Just as Councillor Sima, her daughter was going to SAG, she's now at university, I don't know if Balmati is here. I remember Councillor Balmati, her daughter is also at SAGS. No, I know you say they should have go to Lakshmi girls, but it's all right. My daughter is a SAGS girl too. You understand? That is who we are. It doesn't matter where we come from. With hard work, we set a vision for ourselves and our families, which will filter into the communities, because strong families make strong communities, which make a strong nation. You can't put everybody in jail. Jail is solving nothing. Jail is solving nothing. Today you'd have seen, just like me last night, I was looking at the drama unfolding in England. We've been looking at it since December, what have you, because they want to pin a man for lying. This is the Prime Minister of Britain, one of the largest economies in the world, 50 million people. Yesterday, the cabinet decided we fed up with this man. Not the people, you know. The people that burn no tire, you know. The cabinet, the whole cabinet. You know about rats fleeing a sinking ship. In this case, it was the sinking ship fleeing the rats in England. That is what happened in England. The sinking ship flee from the rats. That will not happen here, because Rowley has normalized lying. To Rowley, lie is his superpower. And we must use truth as his kryptonite to get him down from there. He has normalized lying. But tonight, Boris Johnson got to move out of number 10 Downing because he's a liar. Or so they say in England. No, I say. Them say so. But we have one here, and he is celebrated because he believes that is his superpower. And he lies about little things. He lies about big things. He lies when he ain't even not to lie. He just lies. They don't care. And as Mr. Manning, the one he said he went to Lekito for, said, show me a liar and I will show you a thief. So, I know we have had a long evening, and I don't want to make it any longer. I just want to close with the words of one of the guys, Sajid Javid. He was the Minister of Health, well, the Secretary for Health in England, who had resigned. Two of them, two big hefe, just resigned. The one in charge of the Treasury and so on, and this other guy resigned. He said in his letter to Boris Johnson, he said, amongst other things, he said, so it is with enormous regret that I must tell you that I can no longer in good conscience continue serving in this government. I am instinctively a team player, but the British people also rightly expect integrity from their government. The tone you set as a leader and the values you represent reflect on your colleagues, your party, and ultimately the country. So if the country is a mess, we have a mess for a leader, and he must go. We must not tolerate this. We deserve better. We deserve better. We deserve better. St. Joseph, it is such a privilege to be here. My beloved Senator Roberts, I thank you so much again for inviting me here. I wish you all the best, and I'll be working with you. No, we have to throw in. I mean, MP Saddam said it today, where he said from what you call it, Sanwa Barataria, we come into St. Joseph, up the road to Tunapuna. It must be one mighty chain to pull them down from there. To pull them down from there. I thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Let's hear it for JJ. Before our final speaker, I would just like to acknowledge a few persons in our presence. We have the General Secretary of our party, Mr. Peter Kanhai. Make some noise. We also have another vibrant, beautiful, brilliant Senator Jayanti. Make some noise for the W Murrah Constituency. Arima Executive. Our hard-working PRO Ravi Ratiram. And also representation from Penal, Councillor Nicholas Kanai. And St. Joseph Tony, make some noise. I tell all his heat in the place who say fire. Our next speaker comes from the depths of the UNC and served as a former constituency chairman for St. Joseph. He was a former campaign manager for 4 UNC candidates and is newly elected as treasurer of the United National Congress. He has been a lifetime member of the UNC for 25 years and has served on several boards. This is a businessman who has successfully owned an insurance brokerage firm grounded in the history of insurance for 48 years. He needs no introduction because he's a face known to St. Joseph. Let us welcome Neil Gosain.
UNC family. Make some noise, UNC family. I don't know why they let me follow Anil and Jolene and Damian Lyder. They should just say good night and send everybody home. I'm going to give you some talk, Damian. A very good activist, a diehard, sent me this poem and I wanted to read it to you. Well, the place on fire. Rowley losing he wire. Rowley in Suriname for riot. Big storm and he in California quiet. Bahau get boof and the AG dirty lie gone in a poof. The country sinking, the politics stinking, man starving and the PNM friends and family thriving. Anyone could say left foot, right foot anymore? So guys, I really am privileged here to be here tonight. And of course, we have the hard-working Anna Roberts, who is now the Northeast coordinator, taking over from me. I want to say that I hope he does as good job as me, but I know that he will. And now I want to tell you a little about the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. The way the TTPS tried to deflect the riots in this week's events in Port of Spain and use the phrase pockets of disturbance is surely a testimonial to their total incompetence or a poor attempt of deceiving the public. But whatever it was, what we have seen is a total breakdown of civil society, madness and mayhem in Port of Spain this week. If we had Kamala Persad-Bissessar, we would not have madness and mayhem. Acting Commissioner Jacob and his line minister, Sleepyhead, have tried to downplay the seriousness of the problem by suggesting that this week's fiery riots that grounded the city to a halt with massive traffic jams on the Lady Young and Beetham Highway were just pockets of disturbances which leave one scratching their head. It caused a massive pileup and great inconvenience to the public. The citizens of Beetham are at their boiling points like everybody else in Trinidad and Tobago. The residents are outraged over the police-involved shooting death of 3 men, which we heard that they were shot in their backs, one of whom lived in the Beetham Gardens. This has led them to throwing old tires and even a mattress across the eastbound lane of the highway as early as 10 a.m. on Monday the 4th of July, and a demonstration of disgust over the police shooting. The feeble attempt by the line minister was really weak, and he really shows his contempt for the general public intelligence. His all worn out and political posturing has gone out the window for years now. Personally, I'm not sure why he's still the Minister of National Security, because he really is the Minister of National Insecurity. And he should just be replaced as soon as possible by the current administration. After previously experiencing riots in the past, he has learned nothing from them to plan for these types of situations and to keep the exits and entries into the city open and allow the public access in and out of the capital. People's lives and livelihoods are constantly at stake with this government at the helm, my brothers and sisters. And businesses continue to suffer as their valuable time was spent in this gridlock traffic for hours in an attempt to flee the city. The madness and mayhem which continue to prevail in this country has reached an all-time high. Fed by an uncaring, self-serving, incompetent government, the same government that holds the reign of power so tightly. Well done, Dr. Rowley. The society is now redirecting their frustration, their anger, their anxiety in the same manner as you portray in the public domain every time you face the media or hard questions from the opposition. Please, Prime Minister, fire the Minister of National Security now. For we have never seen so much inept incompetence in our lives. After that act of community self-service, I am sure you'll realize you must fire yourself as well, because your administration has made a total and complete mess of Trinidad and Tobago for the last 7 years. Now we want to turn our guns on not me, Amor, but the Attorney General Amor. Lymore. He has now been caught up in an alleged conflict over a Miami court disqualifying him from a case as a plaintiff for the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. For about 6 weeks now, the Miami court order stated that after hearing and arguments and all the submissions, the court finds that both Attorney General Reginald Amor and the law firm are disqualified and continuing to represent from continuing to represent the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. In this case, the court stated that it was undeniable that Amor represented Mr. Kwaitong between January 2003 and January 2008 in the criminal proceedings in Trinidad and Tobago on charges, and he was senior counsel then, on charges arising from the alleged fraud and corruption in the construction of the Piarco International Airport. He seemed to believe he was a junior counsel in this case and gave evidence stating as much. By his recent media release in all major newspapers, he insisted he didn't lie on his affidavit. He just did not recall everything. Right, Saddam? He didn't recall everything. This, in my humble view, is a feeble attempt to explain away the obvious. The Prime Minister, Dr. Crete Rowley, always said he would deal with any issues in his cabinet or government swiftly and fairly, without fear or favor, where I recall his famous words, "The buck stops with me." So therefore we call on you to remember your words, because as Jolene said, you lie, you lie, you lie, and you continue to lie. You must act now and ask your newly minted AG to step down and come down from there and clear the air fully so that we are not caught up in another embarrassing situation with your government in representing the people of Trinidad and Tobago, both locally and internationally, in the United States of America. Under your leadership, Dr. Rowley, look what we have seen: a collapse of roads and our basic infrastructure, the highest rate of crime seen for the last 5 years, an increase in murder rate that is frightening, high food prices, including 33% increase in flour, increase in fuel, not 1 time, not 2 times, not 3 times, but 4 times. Another resignation of a chairman of the Commission of Inquiry into the death of the Paria divers. Wage negotiations collapse with the unions. Abuse at children's homes across the country with alleged big ring pedophile in Trinidad and Tobago
Foster Cummins' alleged corruption allegations, mayhem and madness, riots in the city. How much more we can take from this failing government under Dr. Rowley? Calm down now. And we call on you to call elections now. Prime Minister, you must have call elections, and let's replace that with a compassionate, performing Prime Minister. Kamala Prasad Bisesa. St. Joseph, it has been a long night. This has been the best TNT Speaks I've ever attended. And I want to give congratulations to the team in the back here. They are great people. And Anil Roberts, Jerlene John, and all my team, good night and get home safe. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right, everybody, before we leave, if we could just bear with us for 3 more minutes, we have the legal officer, the legal advisor, Mr. Brian Begg. We're going to swear in 3 party groups, because you all know through the party groups we're going to beat the PNM. So please witness this great event. We're going to swear in 3 party groups in the St. Joseph constituency. Brian.
Good night, good night, good night.
While we waiting for the party groups, I just want to advise you guys, there's corn soup at the back and chana, it's very delicious. Please partake in it, all right? All right, nice. So we'll do the party group another time. Brothers and sisters, I just want to say thank you to everybody who came out. God bless. The UNC will come back in power. Take care.